The story begins with a simple but jarring question. What would you do if you woke up one day and 6 years of your life were gone, vanished without a trace? No memories, no warnings, just time stolen. This is the story of Miyeon, and the moment her world fractures. Morning light spills into a typical high school classroom. Miyeon, a quiet and reserved 19-year-old girl, enters, offering a soft greeting to the two girls in the front row. They return the greeting with a smile, teasing her about arriving early for once. She explains she woke up earlier than usual, and curiously asks if they always come this early. They nod, explaining it's because of their bus schedule. A faint awkwardness lingers in the air, prompting Miyeon to smile politely and take her seat near the window. The two girls glance at her from the front. She's seriously pretty, even in the morning, one whispers. Miyeon overhears, but says nothing. That was closer than yesterday, she thinks. Even though it's already June, she still hasn't made close friends. It's not just shyness, it's because of the boy who sits in front of her. Lee Yoon. He's not a bad guy, but his group of friends, loud, pushy, and hard to be around. Yoon tries to strike up a conversation, but Miyeon's responses are curt, not out of malice. She simply knows what's coming. Moments later, his rowdy trio enters the room with their usual noise and bravado. One leans in toward her with a grin. Still cute in the morning, huh? Miyeon stiffens. It always plays out like this. Every time Yoon talks to her, they show up, ruining any chance of peace. Worse, their presence drives other classmates away from her too. And since she lacks the courage to approach others first, she's stuck in a cycle of distance and isolation. Just hold on until graduation, she tells herself, biting the inside of her cheek. The homeroom teacher finally walks in, already scolding them. Why is this the only class I can hear from halfway down the hallway? Then he adds something unexpected. We have a new transfer student joining us today. Be sure to treat him well. Everyone turns as the door opens. Kang Joo-ho walks in. He's tall, broader than any of the boys in class. His face is intense, rough, features, a scar stretching along his forehead. It's not just that he's intimidating. He feels unfamiliar, like someone from a different world. Without a word, he scans the classroom and walks toward the empty seat, right next to Miyeon. Their eyes meet briefly. Hello, she whispers. He glances at her and gives a small smile. Miyeon flinches. He looked even scarier when he smiled. Class drags on. Miyeon finds herself zoning out more and more, resting her chin on her hand, staring out the window. Is this what being 19 is supposed to feel like? So heavy, so noisy, so complicated? Struggling with socializing is already tiring, but receiving attention she never asked for. That's worse. She stretches and rests her head on her books. Just a quick nap. But when she opens her eyes, she's no longer in the classroom. She's lying on a bed, facing a wall. The air feels different. The light is colder. And outside the window, snow is falling. Confused, Miyeon bolts upright. Snow? In June? Then the real shock comes. A man is sleeping next to her. She gasps and hides under the blanket in panic. The man stirs and slowly wakes up. He walks over to her, kneels beside the bed, and gently pulls the blanket down from her face. It's Joo-ho, older. His features are more defined, his scar more pronounced. You cold? He asks casually. Miyeon stares in shock. You're the transfer student. You drank a lot last night, he says, standing and grabbing a shirt. No wonder you're confused. Me? Drinking? He raises a brow. You seriously don't remember me picking you up from the store? Miyeon clutches her head. What the hell is going on? I'll go get some ingredients. Try to sober up a little, he adds, heading toward the door. She wants to stop him. Ask something. Anything. But nothing comes out. He pauses. Do you want anything from the store? She walks toward him and gently moves his hair aside, looking at the scar. He blinks. Something on my face? She flinches. No. With a slight nod, he leaves. The room is quiet. Too quiet. Miyeon stares at the closed door, heart pounding. This isn't a dream, is it? She stumbles into the bathroom. The mirror reflects a face she barely recognizes. Older. Tired. She backs away, disoriented. The room is unfamiliar. But real. Tangible. A sudden buzz from her phone nearly makes her drop it. Before she can answer it, something catches her eye. A folded note, peeking out of a nearby book. She takes it and holds it tight. Is this really the future? She walks to the window again, staring at the snow falling gently beyond the glass. She thinks back to her high school self, the girl who used to overthink every interaction, who obsessed over friendships and awkward silences. That girl never imagined this. Clutching the note and trembling slightly, she breathes out. This is me, and this is my strange future. A warm breakfast sits on the table, untouched. Miyeon stares at it blankly, her mind unraveling in silence. Across from her, Juho eats calmly, as if nothing in the world is out of place. Then, without warning, he says, "Once we're done, I'll take you home." Right, I should go home. But it doesn't feel real. None of this does. As they walk side by side, Miyeon's thoughts drift again, to the magazine she saw earlier. It was me. She's sure of it. Her face. Her name. But when Juho returned, she instinctively hid it. What even is this? A dream? A trick? Juho gently takes off his cap and places it on her head. I'll call a taxi. We'll talk more once we get home, he says. The ride is silent. Too silent. So quiet. It feels like her thoughts are screaming. Do I still live in the same place? She considers asking, but the words get stuck in her throat. Would he even believe me if I told him the truth? She grips her coat tighter. Her heart races with 1,000 unspoken questions. Juho glances over, concerned. He reaches out, pressing his hand to her forehead. No fever, he mutters. Is your head hurting? Snapping out of her spiral, Miyeon forces a smile. No, I'm fine. Juho frowns. If it's serious, just ask me for hangover medicine. Don't act tough. His tone is blunt, but there's something caring beneath. Miyeon quietly watches him, wondering, what kind of relationship do we even have? The taxi stops. They step out. It's not her old home. It's a high-rise apartment with an elevator. Miyeon freezes. She's never lived in a building like this, never needed an entrance code. She doesn't even know where to start, until Juho walks ahead and casually enters a code. He knows it, like it's routine. They enter the apartment. It's modern, sleek, clean. Miyeon's breath catches. This is something I used to dream about when I was a student, and now it's real. Before she can process it all, Juho turns to her. Don't you have anything to say to me? She flinches. He reminds her. They were supposed to talk once they got home. Why didn't you answer your phone yesterday? He asks. Why were you drinking alone at a convenience store that late at night? Miyeon interrupts him. Can we talk later? I need to go to the bathroom. Juho nods, watching her with suspicion. Behind the locked bathroom door, Miyeon breaks. She pulls out her phone and quickly does the math. 25. I'm 25 now. Her hands tremble. Her mind won't stop racing. She searches herself online. The results send another wave of shock through her. Up-and-coming actress Miyeon signs contract with major agency. New rising star of the year. An actress? She pieces it together. She lives in a nice apartment. She seems successful. And the guy beside her? Is he my boyfriend? The way he talks to her, looks at her, cares for her. Even if they're not dating, they're clearly close. She leans against the wall. This life, it's nothing like the one I had at 19. But one thing becomes clear. Even if she doesn't understand it yet, the future isn't a bad place. Back in the living room, Joo-ho sits on the couch. Miyeon returns. Sorry for the wait. His tone is firm. Sit. Two thoughts hit her. Super strict boyfriend, or just a friend with zero patience? She hesitates, then sits right next to him. It catches him off guard. Miyeon goes with the flow. The whole convenience store thing. It wasn't a big deal. I just wanted to try it out. I saw it in a drama, she says lightly. Were you really that worried about me? Joo-ho grabs her hand, his expression suddenly intense. You were supposed to be home. It was your day off. You weren't answering your phone and suddenly you're drunk in a convenience store? How the hell was I supposed to not worry? Miyeon's breath hitches. She can't respond in time before Joo-ho locks eyes with her. If you pull something like that again, I'm installing a tracker on you. Having said what he needed to, Joo-ho stands up, ready to leave. Don't be late tomorrow. That jolts Miyeon back to reality. Wait, why? What's happening tomorrow? Joo-ho turns confused. Your photo shoot? I'm coming at 11. She blinks. You're coming with me? Joo-ho pauses, then squints. Who else would you go with? I'm your manager. He leaves, reminding her once more not to be late. Miyeon stands at the door, stunned by the realization. Manager? Why him? Outside, as Joo-ho walks down the quiet street, he glances back once. A flicker of unease crosses his face. Something feels wrong, and he's not sure why. As the night wore on, his call was finally answered. Why haven't you answered all day? He asked, pacing with a towel around his neck, still half-dressed from a workout. But his concern wasn't about rest. It was about her. A faint, mumbling voice came through. No clarity, just background noise. Still, it was enough. Without hesitation, he grabbed his keys and left. At home 25, under dim streetlight, she was there, slumped at a table, surrounded by empty cans. Exhausted. Lost. He sighed, frustration and concern mixing in his voice. It's really strange. It was 2 a.m., and yet he came. Seo Miyeon, he called. Out, his tone firm yet gentle. She looked up, pale, distant. What happened? He asked. Did you drink all this alone? She gave the slightest shake of her head. Is this like last time? He added. But she stayed silent. Then, a child's voice broke the moment. Whoa, Mom! This guy is huge! But his mind stayed on Miyeon. Something happened. She just wouldn't talk. Back home, Miyeon woke up on the floor, dazed. What just happened? She whispered. She looked around. Everything felt oddly familiar, yet off. A manager? That doesn't suit him, she murmured, confused. Why is he my manager? Nothing made sense. Lying back down, she muttered, Maybe when I wake up, I'll be back. But even as her eyes closed, a question lingered. Do I even want to go back? Memories of home flashed. Her mother, distant. The weight of silence. I don't even know anymore. She sighed. She walked around. It all matched her taste, but something still felt unfamiliar. I'll check later, she told herself. The shoot is today. Opening her phone, she looked up a drama, Season of Romance. Apparently, she'd played the lead's first love. A short but pivotal role. It suited her in a strange way. This is all so surprising. She checked the time. Already this late? If she was still here tomorrow, she'd adapt. I kind of like this future, she thought, but nervousness crept. In mine, I'm not ready for the shoot. She stared at the ceiling. I can't sleep. Morning. Kang Joo-ho pulled up in a car. Beautiful day, isn't it? She said with a nervous smile. Yeah, get in. Inside, she fumbled. Where should I sit? Seatbelt, he said. Oh, right. He handed her a sandwich. It's a long drive. Eat. She was touched. Thank you. I'll eat well. She bit into it. Simple. Good. He really does feel like a manager. Then her eyes drifted to the iced drink. Americano? Never had one, but I guess I should. She took a sip, immediately choked. That's mine, he said. Flustered, she apologized. He barely blinked. Yours is the warm tea. Embarrassed, she watched him take the drink she touched and sip it. It's nothing, he said calmly. Nothing? She thought. That's a weird way to say it. She shook it off. I'm overthinking again. But the thought wouldn't leave her. The strangest thing in this future is definitely Kang Joo-ho. They drove through traffic. The tea warmed her hands. Soon they reached the set. Cameras, crew, movement. The day had only begun. Later, Miyeon clenched her fist. Why didn't I check last night? Why didn't I ask? Him? Then a gentle touch on her shoulder. She turned. Kang Joo-ho. No words, just presence. He handed her a drink. Here, he said simply. She accepted it with both hands. It's a bit cold, he said. But just have something you like. No pressure. She nodded. Thanks. In that chaotic studio, the world momentarily quieted. He rested a hand on her head. If you need anything, just call me. Okay. He walked away. She watched him leave, still holding the cup. Did he come here just to calm me down? Of all the strange things in this future, he was the greatest mystery. Why was Kang Joo-ho still by her side? Her own mother had never shown this much care. She scratched her head, lost in thought. What happened between us when I was 19? Was he still here by chance, or by choice? She stared into the distance. I want to know. The dressing room buzzed with activity. Miyeon sat in front of the mirror, still and focused. One stylist leaned closer, carefully examining her reflection. Honestly, your face already has the perfect vibe. We didn't have to do much. She smiled, flustered but grateful. The mood remained light, but Miyeon couldn't shake, the unease building in her chest. Nearby, someone clutched a coffee cup, the steam rising into the air, mingling with the distant chatter and rhythmic echo of heels on the studio floor. She entered, now dressed for the shoot, a black fitted top and a sheer navy skirt that flowed behind her. But her discomfort was clear. The heels felt impossible. Before she could adjust, a crew member approached. Miyeon, sorry, there's an issue with the props. Might take 10 minutes, she nodded. Okay, got it. Just relax. We'll call you when everything's ready. Left alone, she glanced around. The energy of the studio moved without her. Everyone had a role, a direction. Maybe I should step out for a bit, she thought. She remembered the promise she made when she first woke up in this strange future. To adapt, to push forward, to make it work. But as her back met the cold studio wall and her shoulders trembled, she realized she never truly understood what that would take. This wasn't something she could do. Doubt gripped her chest. A voice cut through her downward spiral. What are you doing here? Startled, she turned to see Joo-ho standing in the hallway, casual and composed, holding a phone in hand. Perfect timing. Let's take a few behind-the-scenes shots. She blinked, confused. Was he serious? It's for social media, he added, already lifting the phone. Just act natural. She stared at him, uncertain. You handle that stuff too? But the moment pulled her from her thoughts. Joo-ho always seemed to know when to interrupt her anxiety. He leaned in slightly, voice calm and steady. And I've noticed something. Miyeon looked up, startled. You always do better than you think, he said. So don't stress too much. This is something you can do. His words landed softly, but with weight. She wasn't expecting encouragement, especially not from him. She took a breath, letting it sink in. Raising his phone again, Joo-ho added, Just pretend this camera is a practice run. It's small, so it's not intimidating, right? He turned the phone around. Or do you need an even smaller one? She laughed, the tension easing slightly. It wasn't about the camera, but still, it was nice that he was trying. Then he showed her the screen, her reflection staring back. Look at yourself objectively, he said. You're pretty. Miyeon flinched. The compliment hit harder than expected. She wasn't used to being seen like that. Before she could recover, a staff member appeared in the hallway. There you are. We're all set for the shoot. Miyeon jolted upright. Okay, I'm coming. She hurried to the set, her heart pounding, face flushed. This is so overwhelming, she thought, hand over her chest. Then came a voice. Seo Miyeon. Her eye twitched as she turned, caught off guard. Joo-ho stood beside her, calm as ever. They walked into the studio hallway together, the air shifting around them. He leaned in close, whispering something only she could hear. Her eyes widened slightly, caught in surprise. His soft smile lingered. Before she could respond, the studio, lights above, sparked to life. It was time. Her heels clicked softly as she walked onto the set, where stylists made final adjustments. All right, let's begin the shoot. She stood in the spotlight, holding a single flower, uncertainty painted across her face. Behind the scenes, the camera lens adjusted, locking onto her expression. Look at the camera. Oh, perfect, the photographer called out. She turned, gaze drifting. Now look into the distance, like you're seeing someone you miss. The instruction hit something inside her. Someone she missed? Her expression shifted. Soft, longing. The shutter clicked. That's the one. Really? She whispered. From across the studio, she spotted Joo-ho, arms crossed, watching. Her thoughts flickered back. Earlier, he had leaned in and said, If you're nervous, just act cute in front of the camera. At the time, it felt ridiculous, but now, he suddenly struck a comically cute pose from behind the monitors. Miyeon nearly laughed out loud. Let's get a shot with the flowers, the photographer called. She held the rose, hesitant. Act cute? Seriously? Then something shifted inside her. She smiled. The team paused. Wait a second. Did she mess up? Was I not supposed to smile? She wondered. Did I ruin the vibe? But instead came praise. That looked great. Let's take a few more like that. Miyeon blinked. Okay. The crew gathered around the screens, reviewing her shots. Joo-ho stepped forward and offered his hand. Without hesitation, she took it. As the shoot wrapped, Miyeon stood beside Joo-ho. Someone nearby called her name, asking for her thoughts. She turned toward the monitor. There she was, seated gracefully, a rose in hand, bathed in soft light, a gentle smile on her lips. It looks beautiful, someone said. Yeah, Miyeon replied quietly, not sure if she was agreeing or still in disbelief. Don't you agree, Miyeon? The photographer asked with a grin. She waved off the compliment. No, it's because the photos are good, but she laughed, genuinely this time. Joo-ho stood beside her, silent, watching her with an unreadable expression. They looked at the screen together. Each frame showed a side of her she hadn't seen before. Graceful, calm, confident. And for the first time, maybe, she believed it too. As the shoot wrapped up, Miyeon stood quietly beside Kang Joo-ho. A female staff member approached Miyeon and gently asked, Shall we go? Miyeon responded with a quiet nod. Yes. She stepped forward, her heels clicking softly against the polished studio floor. Her long black hair swayed with every step, catching the soft glow of the light behind her. For a brief moment, the world felt still. She remembered Joo-ho's voice, his words of quiet, reassurance. It was almost surreal. Just yesterday, he was just a cold transfer, student with a scary look in his eyes. But now she needed to tell him the truth, that I'm from the past. Meanwhile, as the crew bustled to reset the set for the next shoot, his phone buzzed. He answered without hesitation. Yes, sir. A calm but firm voice spoke through the line. Manager Kang, I need you to stop by the office after the shoot. There's something important we need to discuss.